Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Annabelle Howes, in for Christine Wiggins, and today is Tuesday, October 14th. Coming up on Cullman Today. Cullman marks October as Beef Month. Taste of Cullman Grown showcases farm-to-table flavor, and Ron Ingram to retire after 18 years leading AHSAA communications. All of this plus sports, weather, and more. Now, let's take a closer look at the top stories happening in Cullman today. Cullman Mayor Woody Jacobs signed a proclamation on Wednesday, October 8th, declaring October Beef Month in the city, an observance Alabama has celebrated since 1964. Joining the signing were Cullman County cattlemen and cattlewomen representatives Charles Cairo Gamble, Jesse Crumbly, and Lana Slayton. The local cattle sector is a major driver of Cullman's farm economy, an estimated $21.4 million industry supporting more than 350 full-time jobs. Cullman County ranks second in Alabama for cattle inventory with more than 55,000 head of cattle and calves, according to recent USDA agricultural statistics. The Cullman County Cattlemen's Association, part of the statewide Alabama Cattlemen's Association, counts 400-plus members across cattlewomen, and junior groups and hosts education, youth events, and community activities year-round. Producers also emphasize stewardship, maintaining healthy pastures and managing runoff, while turning forage into nutrient-dense beef, rich in protein, B vitamins, zinc, and iron. Residents can learn more about local programs at the Cullman County Cattlemen's Facebook page and find beef nutrition resources at bamabeef.org. Wallace State's Culinary Arts and Horticultural departments teamed up on October 9th for the annual Taste of Cullman Grown Food Show, spotlighting locally sourced ingredients and the partnerships that bring farm-to-table dining to life. The evening gathered area farmers, restaurants, and neighbors for tasting stations, hands-on demos, and a chance to meet the growers behind the plates. Executive Chef and Culinary Arts Chair Aaron Nichols guided a menu that sampled everything from pasta alla vodka and barbecue to cheesecake and avocado chocolate mousse, underscoring how local products elevate familiar recipes. Students took center stage as well, competing in a French fry scholarship contest backed by Cisco and Performance Food Group, another link between classroom learning and the regional food economy. Proceeds from the event benefit the Link of Cullman County, which provides food assistance and outreach to hundreds of families each month. The organization plans to use the funds to stock its pantry and bolster services through the winter season. The Alabama High School Athletic Association's Director of Communications, Ron Ingram, will retire December 31st, closing a 50-plus year run, shaping how high school sports are covered in Alabama. Ingram joined AHSAA in 2007 after decades in newsrooms, including the Dothan Progress, Dothan Eagle, and the Birmingham News, where he became a go-to voice for prep sports. Known for relentless reporting and deep historical knowledge, he modernized AHSAA media access at championship events, emceed post-game press conferences, created virtual pressers during the 2020 pandemic, and spent countless late nights compiling sources for outlets statewide. Ingram helped pioneer statewide all-state teams that evolved into Alabama Sports Writers Association honors across football, basketball, baseball, and softball, and he helped launch marquee player awards such as Mr. Football. He championed coverage of girls' sports as participation grew in the 1980s and mentored a generation of young journalists who now lead newsrooms. A multi-sport athlete at Pike County High, Ingram attended Troy and Alabama and served in the Alabama National Guard. His career accolades include Halls of Fame with the ASWA and AHSAA, and the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame's Mel Allen Media Award. He plans to consult occasionally with the AHSAA and spend more time with family in retirement. And that's all of our top stories this morning. Coming up, Alabama hands Missouri its first loss. Sports is next. Welcome back. Alabama went on the road and edge-ranked Missouri, snapping the Tigers' long home winning streak and extending the Tide's run in the series. Quarterback Ty Simpson was efficient and poised, tossing multiple touchdowns. Freshman Lotzer Brooks led the receivers and delivered a clutch fourth and long grab in the closing minutes. Isaiah Horton, Kevin Riley, and Daniel Hill found the end zone, and Jam Miller carried the load on the ground. On defense, Deontay Lawson paced the tackles, L.T. Overton lived in the backfield, and Keon Keeley added pressure off the edge. The secondary came up huge with late interceptions by Bray Hubbard and Dijon Lee Jr., with Lee's takeaways ending Missouri's final drive. Under head coach Kalen DeBauer, Alabama's strong record against ranked opponents rolls on, and the Tide's streak over Missouri stays intact. Simpson remains among the nation's most consistent passers with multiple scoring throws each week, and lineman Caden Proctor converted another short yardage first down. Alabama bottled the nation's leading rusher well below his usual output. Next up, Tennessee visits Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday night, televised on ABC. And that wraps up sports for today. Coming up next, Cullman Youth shine at Alabama National Fair Goat Show, and Student Day packs the midway at the Cullman County Fair. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Cullman County competitors brought home big results from the Youth Goat Show October 4th in Montgomery. And junior premier exhibitor Brooklyn Ray placed second and Aiden Bryce took third, with Chambers County's Walton Epperson first and Riley Maples fourth. In junior showmanship, Maples claimed first, Epperson was second, Ray third, and Bryce fourth. In the intermediate, premier exhibitor and showmanship divisions, Coleman's Ellie Elrod earned first, with Kinsley Phillips of St. Clair County second. Bryce also exhibited the lightweight champion commercial doe. Premier exhibitor tests livestock knowledge, evaluation, and showmanship. The junior division covers ages 9 through 12, and the intermediate 13 through 15. Youth livestock activities were sponsored by the Alabama Farmers Federation and Alpha Insurance, with judging by Ross Wingert of Rosebud, Arkansas. Congratulations to all the local exhibitors and families. The county playoffs kick off in 2 weeks, and this week's slate did plenty to sort the brackets. At Cold Springs, West Point swept all 3 divisions with shutouts across the board. In Vinemont, the Eagles claimed Fireplug and Wee Wee, one of them a shutout, while Holly Pond answered in Pee Wee 30-8. Cullman hosted West Morgan, and the Rebels swept, holding the Bearcats to just 6 points all night with 2 clean sheets along the way. Over in Hanceville, the Bulldogs took 2 of 3 from Good Hope, including a Pee Wee shutout. The Raiders captured Wee Wee 12-0. Fairview handled business against Danville, stacking shutouts in Fireplug and Wee Wee, while the Hawks squeaked out the Pee Wee game 13-12. Week 9 is the final tune-up before the county playoffs, and seeding is on the line across all 3 divisions. Morning kickoffs send Cullman to Holly Pond and Hanceville to Cold Springs. The afternoon slate brings West Point to Vinemont and Fairview to Good Hope, a rivalry tilt with bracket stakes. With tiebreakers in play, every point matters. Fireplug, Wee Wee, and Pee Wee roll back-to-back, so arrive early and check the host pages for any last-minute field or time updates. Cullman Community Theater is bringing not-so-scary stories in the park to Art Park every Sunday in October, with free shows at 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. The original outdoor production, written and directed by Aaron Johnson, marks the troupe's first in-park show and is designed for all ages. Expect music, family-friendly humor, giveaways, candy, and interactive moments that keep kids and parents part of the action. Early turnouts have been strong, and organizers hope to grow the series into an annual fall tradition. If you've missed the first weekends, there's still time. Performances continue through the end of the month. Pack a blanket or lawn chairs, enjoy an afternoon in one of Cullman's signature green spaces, and support local theater with a lighthearted Halloween season outing. Here's a look at Student Day at the Cullman County Fair from Monday, October 13th. Free admission until 5 p.m. Brought city, county, private, and homeschool students out in force, filing the midway, checking out livestock and barns, and snapping photos around the exhibits. The fair rolls on through Saturday, October 18th, with rides, shows, and daily attractions for all ages. For schedules, specials, and details, visit cullmanfair.org. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather and we pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who've lost their lives this week. Richard Monroe Holcombe, 82 of Cullman, passed away Sunday, October 12th. A memorial service will be announced at a later date. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and families. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast. Today, we'll have wall-to-wall sunshine and low humidity, a near 80 afternoon with a gentle north-northeast breeze. Tonight, skies stay clear and it turns seasonably cool near 50. Wednesday, sunny again and a touch warmer, topping out in the low 80s with a light north wind. Wednesday night, clear and comfortable, settling into the low 50s under quiet skies. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us, and remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting cullmantribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. But until then, I'm Annabelle Howes with Cullman Today. Have a wonderful day, Cullman.